Hi, welcome to Celebrate Aging. I'm Vicki Marthaler, your hostess here at Emmanuel Community, and I'm sitting in one of the beautifully decorated trees we have here at Emmanuel. This is the one on Birch Lane. I hope when you come to visit that you make sure you check out every lane, because every lane is decorated, its very own tree. And this one has the residents framed in little pictures, and it looks beautiful. Here at Emmanuel, we love celebrating Christmas. Emmanuel, of course, means God with us, and Christmas is remembering the birth of that Christ child, the Lord who comes to be with us throughout all the days of our life. And if you're looking for presents on what to get people, especially the residents who live here, on our newsletter we had a couple of gift ideas. Let me share them with you. A photo album filled with family photos. It's always nice to put the names of the people, too, close by, so we can help remember if that need be. A subscription to the local newspapers or magazines. Beauty shop gift certificates. Postage stamps. Or we have a gift shop here that you can go shopping with a resident. Or maybe the best thing you can do is just to come in and let yourself be the present. Let yourself be the gift. Some people get kind of leery about coming at Christmas and visiting or any time during the year. They not know what to say. They just don't know how to be helpful. Truly, the gift of yourself for a visit will always be the best gift ever. So don't worry about it. Just make yourself known. Come and visit. And I'd like to share with you a special book, A Cup of Christmas Tea, on how this young man made it work for him. A Cup of Christmas Tea by Tom Haig, illustrated by Warren Hansen. The log was in the fireplace, all spiced and set to burn. At last, the yearly Christmas race was in the clubhouse turn. The cards were in the mail, all the gifts beneath the tree, and 30 days reprieve till Visa could catch up with me. And though smug satisfaction seemed the order of the day, something still was nagging me and would not go away. A week before, I got a letter from my old great aunt. It read, "Of course I'll understand completely if you can't. But if you find you have some time, how wonderful if we could have a little chat and share a cup of Christmas tea." She'd had a mild stroke that year, which crippled her left side. Though housebound now, my folks had said it hadn't hurt her pride. They said she'd love to see you. What a nice thing it would be for you to go and maybe have a cup of Christmas tea. Oh, but boy, I didn't want to go. Oh, what a bitter pill to see an old relation and how far she'd gone downhill. I remembered her as vigorous, as funny, and as bright. I remembered Christmas Eves where she regaled us half the night. I didn't want to risk all that. I didn't want the pain. I didn't need to be depressed. I didn't need the strain. And what about my brother? Why not him? She's his aunt, too. I thought I had it justified, but then before I knew, the reasons not to go I so painstakingly had built were cracking wide and crumbling in an acid rain of guilt. I put on my boots and gloves and cap, shame stinging every pore, and armed with squeegee, sand, and map, I went out my front door. I drove in from the suburbs to the older part of town. The pastels of the newer homes gave way to gray and brown. I had that disembodied feeling as the car pulled up and stopped beside the wooden house that held the Christmas cup. How I got to her door, I really couldn't tell. I watched my hand rise up, and I pressed the button of the bell. I waited, aided by my nervous rocking to and fro, and just as I was thinking I should turn around and go, I heard the rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall. The triple beat of 2 feet in a crutch came down the hall. The clicking of the door latch and the sliding of the bolt, and a little swollen struggle popped it open with just a jolt. She stood there, pale and tiny, looking fragile as an egg. I forced myself from staring at the brace that held her leg, and though her thick bifocals seemed to crack and spread her eyes, their milky and refracted depths lit up with young surprise. "Come in, come in!" She laughed the words. She took me by the hand, and all my fears dissolved away as if by her command. We went inside, and then, before I knew how to react, before my eyes and ears and nose was Christmas, past, alive, intact. The scent of candied oranges, of cinnamon and pine, the antique wooden soldiers in their military line, the porcelain nativity, oh, I'd always loved so much, the Dresden in the crystal, I'd been told I mustn't touch. My spirit fairly bolted like a child out of class and danced among the ornaments of calico and glass. Like magic, I was 6 again, deep in a Christmas spell, steeped in the million memories the boy inside knew well. And here among old Christmas cards so lovingly displayed, a special place of honor for the one we kids had made. And there beside her rocking chair, the center of it all, my great aunt stood and said, how nice it was to call. I sat and rattled on about the weather and the flu. She listened very patiently, then smiled and said, "What's new?" Thoughts and words began to flow. I started making sense. I lost the phony breeziness I use when I get tense. She was still passionately interested in everything I did. She was positive, encouraging, like when I was a kid. Simple generalities still sent her into fits. She demanded the specifics, the particulars, the bits. We talked about the limitations that she'd had to face. She spoke with utter candor and with humor and with grace. Then, defying the reality of crutch and straightened knee, on wings of hospitality she flew to brew the tea. I sat alone with feelings that I hadn't felt in years. I looked around at Christmas through a thick, hot blur of tears. The candles and the holly she'd arranged on every shelf, the impossibly good cookies she still somehow baked herself. But these rich, tactile memories became quite pale and thin when measured by the Christmas my great aunt kept deep within. Her body halved and nearly spent, but my great aunt was whole. I saw a Christmas miracle, the triumph of a soul. The triple beat of 2 feet in a crutch came down the hall, the rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall. She poured 2 cups, she smiled, and then she handed one to me. And then we settled back and had a cup